So let's just take a moment here to sort of like process from a bigger picture of what exactly happened today. So today was the day that the Epstein estate, run by those two executors, released a bunch of material that was subpoenaed by the Oversight Committee. This includes the birthday book and a number of other documents. Okay, now, what is so significant about this is now we have tangible proof of this letter that Trump denied being a part of, that he denied existing. And in fact, JD Vance is really one of the motherfuckers who is eating the most crow, because JD Vance was like adamant that this thing did not exist. Forgive my language, but this story is complete and utter bullshit, said JD. The Wall Street Journal should be ashamed for publishing it. Where is this letter? Would you be shocked to learn they never showed it to us before publishing it? Does anyone honestly believe this sounds like Donald Trump? Yeah, actually, JD Vance, we all believe it sounds like Donald Trump. And in fact, JD Vance, if you were to take stock of how you really feel about America's Hitler, we're pretty sure you would know that this sounds exactly like Donald Trump. But dude, he was like way into this. This was another one of JD's tweets that said the contention, which is pretty clear if you just read what I said, is that it's bogus for the Wall Street Journal to publish a hit piece without showing us the letter. I have no idea if the book exists. Wall Street Journal won't show it to us. I have no idea if the letter exists. Wall Street Journal won't show it to us. What I find absurd is the idea that Donald Trump was writing poems to Epstein, and I find it equally absurd that a major American paper would attack the President of the United States without revealing the basis for the attack. We all know what's going to happen. They're going to dribble little details out for days or weeks in an effort to assassinate the president's character. Oh, JD. Oh, they assassinated his character. Oh, Trumpy. Right? They won't show us the book or allow us to refute it until they've wrung every bit of fake news out of the story. And everyone will just move on from the fact that the Wall Street Journal is acting like a Democrat super PAC. It's disgraceful, and it's why the president sued. But let me just say this. Let me just say that the president is going to lose the lawsuit. This lawsuit is now done. Now, obviously, JD Vance was all in on the "this thing doesn't exist, this is a smear campaign." Trump was saying it's a hoax. And what we find out is it's neither. Now, here's what's really interesting about this, guys, is some of the reporting that's been done. Because obviously, guys, the very first thing that happened was they started to challenge it. The first thing they went after was the signature. Okay? They said, you know what? That doesn't look like Donald Trump's signature, right? Because Donald Trump's signature now is like this, where it's a Donald Trump. It's like just a straight thing. But this is actually a recent signature, guys. What's crazy about the Donald Trump signature is he used to sign his name differently. Okay? Now, the first thing he said was, "This is not my signature." But if you look at his personal letters, this is Donald Trump's signature for the 2003 Epstein book. And it's got that crazy long tail. Now, this is his signature in 2001 in a letter to Rudy Giuliani. You see how it also has that same trail? It's like Donald and a line. Then 1998 letter to two New York City officials. It's just, again, Donald and the long tail. July 1998 letter to Rudy Giuliani. Sincerely, Donald with the long tail. A 1995 letter to Giuliani, Donald with the long tail. A May 1987 letter to a New York City official is a little bit squashed, but again, a Donald with a long tail. So here's what's crazy is if this had been faked, you would have expected that they would have tried to match the signature that you currently see on all of Donald Trump's shit, right? No, I know. We know it's him. But, or if it were faked, whoever faked it this year was aware of Donald Trump's signature back in 2003. But again, when you look at it, they claim it. This is definitely his signature. It is absolutely 100% it. So that was the first line of attack related to the signature. But it's pretty obvious. Now, the next line of attack, guys, was about the language itself. Now, here's where it gets really interesting, guys. Because like I said, people have been covering this. People have been looking at the actual thing. Let's go into the birthday book, and we're going to just skip right to Donald's letter real fast. We're going to go right to Donald's. And I mean, this thing is wild, bro. So it's in the friends section. This gets pretty crazy, guys. There's some weird shit in here, guys. They redacted all the new. Here's the friends. Now we're getting into the Trump section. This is Donald's section here. Now, here's what's really interesting. There's some creepy shit. So here's what's interesting too. Obviously, this thing is written in the third person, and then we're going to talk about some of the forensic analysis that was done, because there are a couple things in here that are very Trump-specific phrases. Okay, now, first off, it says voiceover. There must be more to life than having everything. Donald? Yes, there is, but I won't tell you what it is. Jeffrey? So this is a conversation, okay? Nor will I, since I also know what it is. We have certain things in common, Jeffrey. Yes, we do, come to think of it. Enigmas never age. Have you noticed that? As a matter of fact, it was clear to me the last time I saw you. A pal is a wonderful thing. Happy birthday, and may every day be another wonderful secret. Donald J. Trump. There's a couple things here. Obviously, the word enigma is something that comes up, but the real thing that's interesting is this. A pal is a wonderful thing. And this is really where you start seeing the Trumpism here, okay? Because Donald Trump has used the phrase a wonderful thing repeatedly. For example, here's Trump. I think Brexit is going to be a wonderful thing for your country. See, in the old days, you'd say that's a wonderful thing, right? And we sold it to the Waldorf Astoria, and it was a wonderful thing. But it's going to be a wonderful thing. It's going to be wonderful for the Middle East. A wonderful thing is like, this is a wonderful thing. It's going to be a wonderful thing is a Trump staple. There's literally like 100, 1,000, 5,000 examples of him using that phrase. It is a wonderful thing. Now, what's wild about it is that's not a super common phrase, okay? That is not a phrase that like many people just throw around. That is a phrase that is absolutely a Trumpism, okay? Now, another thing you got here is enigmas never age. Have you noticed that? Enigmas never age. Enigma is another Trumpism.
Now, Carson's an enigma to me. I didn't say it.
Dude, he loves that. He loves the word enigma. Okay? Again, enigma is not super commonly used. Okay? And you're right. His vocabulary is small. is very repetitive. Enigma, anagram, gamming is a young girl. I think that's fascinating, but I mean, you think Trump is really that crafty? I just don't know if Trump would have sorted that out, right? I don't know. It's possible that enigma and gamming, it may have been something that Epstein may have been about that, where Epstein may have made that connection and they may have used it, right? I think that's one of the contentious things about this. When you look at it, one of the things that's really interesting is how old do you think this person is, right? I think the whole point of this is it is like undeveloped breasts, right? I mean, I look at this and this is not a woman. This is a child, okay? This is a teenager. It's pretty gnarly, you know? It's pretty gnarly that even down to that little detail is like, yeah, he even drew a pre-adolescent girl or like somebody on the very cusp of adolescence when they just, you know, started showing. And he's got his little signature down here for the, you know, what have you. But now here's where it gets interesting. Obviously, from the language and stuff here, it's pretty clear that this is Trump. Now, here's what I think is more important even than Trump's weird, gross thing. Because if you look at this feels coded very much in a Trump, Epstein, you know, proclivities kind of way, right? You know, got more to life than having everything. Yes, but it's a secret. We both know what it is. We have it in common, right? Ooh, enigmas never age, right? Maybe they're referring to these young girls, right? And then Trump is saying a pal is a wonderful thing, right? And everything's a wonderful secret. It's very creepy, driven over this little pre-puberty body. His signature down here is like maybe where it's pretty gross, guys. All right? It's pretty gross. Now, on a larger note though, guys, we have to look at the rest of this book because taken in and of itself, the Trump letter, the Trump addition to this book is weird and you know, a little bit gross. But when you look at the context of this whole book, guys, and you look at the pages in here, you realize really how warped this is, because this is a guy's 50th birthday. And everybody in here has given something having to do with young girls, nakedness, right? Everything in here is some sort of weird inside joke to sexual, like, weirdness behavior. And that's where you start realizing, like, wow, man, when this guy turned 50 years old, a whole bunch of people were all making references to this wild, crazy, devious sexual behavior. Everybody in his circle, everybody who knew him, knew about his proclivities. They knew about it. He was known for this. This was who Jeffrey Epstein was. He was the crazy 14-year-old girl guy that provided these girls and was obsessed with these girls. He had naked pictures and shit all over his house. Everybody who hung out with him knew everything about him. It was not a secret. What is up, guys? Thank you so much for watching. If you like the video, you want to support independent resistance media, you know what to do. Drop that sub, hit the like button, and please share it. And we do love our members, so if you want to become a member, it's another really great way to support. Thanks again for everything, guys. I'll see you next time. Let's go.